What are some traditional foods in your country? Well, Vietnam has a very rich cultural diversity, which means that there are various types of traditional food. To name some, there are chung cake, spicy beef noodle soup, or sticky rice. Actually, every region has its own local speciality, but I do believe that pho is still the most popular one among other dishes. It's very well seasoned and can be served for any mealtime during the day. What is a common meal in your country? Well, I'm an Asian, so it's rice for sure. We have it almost every single day in every single meal. It's simply because rice is easy to grow in Vietnam. It provides lots of energy and it is cheap as well, so everyone can afford it. Have you always liked the same food? Not really. I mean, the food I liked as a child and the food I like now are totally different. I believe it's a normal thing, though, just as a result of growing up. What do you think of fast food? I think fast food is convenient, for sure, but it's extremely unhealthy. I mean, it's okay to have fast food like once or twice a week, but having it every day can seriously damage your health. One of my friends, Daisy, ate fast food for months straight and she's obese now. Do you have a healthy diet? I think so. I used to eat very unhealthily, mostly only consuming fast food and no vegetables. However, I'm learning to eat more healthily now and try to have as diverse a diet as possible. Do you have a healthy diet? I think so. I used to eat very unhealthily, mostly only consuming fast food and no vegetables. However, I'm learning to eat more healthily now and try to have as diverse a diet as possible. What's the difference between picnics and cooking at home? Well, the most obvious difference is that cooking at home is more comfortable because you have all the ingredients and tools that you need. In contrast, it's tough to cook in nature during picnics, and you either have to be really well prepared or you have to learn to make do with what you have. Who does the cooking in your family? Why? Definitely my mom. She is in charge of all the cooking in my family since she is passionate about cooking. In fact, she always makes sure that we are served different types of dishes every meal, which is awesome. Nevertheless, my dad will do the grilling part of barbecue food if my family has a party. Did you learn how to cook when you were younger? Fortunately, yes. When I was a little boy, I loved going to the kitchen to back up my grandmother with some side jobs. From that, I can pick up a few recipes and cooking methods. She also taught me how to decorate a finished dish with vegetables. Do you think Vietnamese people's diet is healthy? Yes, obviously. Vietnamese people always try to ensure their meals have enough necessary nutrients. That's the reason it is almost a must to have vegetables and soup in every meal, and that's quite healthy. We also use some natural spices and herbs, which are believed to have some medical benefits, to season the food. Do you like tasting new food? As a foodie, it's a firm yes for me. I always dream of experiencing all different kinds of food. Every cuisine has its own special features, and it would be so great if we can try the local food. It's not only about the taste, but also the underlying meaning behind such dishes. Have you ever tried foreign food? Of course, yes. I have a chance to taste lots of food, but my favorite one is Thai food. Even though it is spicy, most of the dishes are incredibly delicious, especially tom yum soup. It's such a perfect combination of sour and sweet taste. What kinds of new foods have you tried recently? Recently, I've been on a diet. Therefore, I usually look for healthy diets such as vegetables or low-calorie food. I was introduced to some vegetarian diets. Initially, I found it hard to maintain this habit. Then, after a while, I am motivated by the fact that I've lost 3 kilograms by eating this on a regular basis. What kinds of things do you eat for dinner in your country? The food that we eat for dinner can be quite diverse. However, for home-cooked meals, we mainly have rice. We have it with different Vietnamese dishes, among which I believe pork and fried fish are the most popular ones. Do you like food from other countries near Vietnam? I do. I have a special love for Chinese cuisine. Just like their culture, Chinese people offer a wide range of food. I'm interested in this food partly because its taste is pretty similar to Vietnamese food. We have some commons in the way we process and season the food. Do you like to cook? I consider myself an excellent cook, but unfortunately, I'm not into cooking. This is because I have a pretty hectic schedule, which means that I don't have enough time to prepare a high-quality meal. So, most of the time, I just choose to eat out and have takeaway food at home. Only on important events such as birthdays, I will roll my sleeves up and get hands-on with something. Do you like to cook? I consider myself an excellent cook, but unfortunately, I'm not into cooking. This is because I have a pretty hectic schedule, which means that I don't have enough time to prepare a high-quality meal. So most of the time, I just choose to eat out and have takeaway food at home. Only on important events such as birthdays, I will roll my sleeves up and get hands-on with something. What time do you usually eat dinner? Because my working time is quite flexible, I don't have a certain time for dinner. I'm only able to say I often have it after 7 p.m. That is when I mostly finish my job and can have a little time to grab a bite to eat to fill my empty stomach. Will you change your diet habits? To be honest, I think I should. As I said, I regularly have fast food for lunch and dinner, which is not good for my state of health. I consider spending more time preparing home-cooked dishes. They can not only ensure healthy nutrition, but also help to keep my body in shape. What do you enjoy the most about a meal? It would definitely be desserts. I have a sweet tooth, and I always expect a cup of ice cream at the end of the meal. Needless to mention that most desserts are beautifully decorated, which makes them much more mouthwatering. What foods from your country do most foreign people enjoy? I believe foreigners find pho very fascinating. That's a thing that still imprints in their mind after they pay a visit to Vietnam. I guess it is because pho is well seasoned with various kinds of spices. Also, the taste is neutral and friendly to most people. What kinds of meals do you like? Personally, I prefer meals which contain enough essential nutrients. It should include meat, vegetables, and soup. This is why homemade meals are always the best. I can ensure my body is healthy, as well as have quality time with my family. Do you often eat dinner with your family or friends? I try my best to have dinner with my family as much as possible. It's always nice and fun to be surrounded by your beloved ones at dinner. However, I eat out with my friends sometimes. It is great to try on different kinds of food. I believe there are foods in restaurants that we have never seen at home. Are there any fruits or vegetables you don't like? Yes, there are a few. Durian is the first thing that pops up in my mind. It has such a strong smell that makes me dizzy even just being nearby, let alone eating it. Although it is seen as the king of fruits, it's always on my blacklist. Do you think most people like chocolate? Why? I don't think so. Some people can't stand the sweet taste. Moreover, chocolate is not recommended for people who have health problems such as diabetes or obesity. Not to mention that there may be people who are allergic to some ingredients contained in chocolate. What kinds of foreign food are popular in your country? From my observation, I think it's definitely Japanese cuisine. There are so many Japanese restaurants in HCM City, selling varieties of dishes too, not just sushi. This is just my guess. But I think the reason for this is that even though we use different spices and cooking methods, the philosophy behind Vietnamese cuisine and Japanese food is very much similar. Both aim for an elemental balance and harmony between the ingredients, and both really utilized the healing properties of herbs and vegetables in cooking. Not to mention that most young people are exposed to Japanese culture from a very young age through anime and manga. So I think that also attributes to why Vietnamese people enjoy Japanese food so much.